Hello, everybody, and welcome on back. We are mining in peaceful. This is when login issues strike because I'm too lazy to. No, it's not that I'm too lazy. Already just today, I've done the dishes, done another load of another load of laundry, swept and mopped both bathrooms and the kitchen, and yeah, and that's the thing. This is my spring cleaning. This is the stuff that I've been trying to do like since, I don't know, I'm still spring cleaning and we're about halfway through summer. But just like, I mentioned the other day, like, how do you do calculus, or how, same as how you lift a cow, a little bit a day. Well, calculus is also like laundry. It's never done. I mean, and that just kind of stuck with me for everything. Like, learning is never done. I mean, as long as you're ready to continue to learn, no matter what, then you're good. And I think that if everybody kind of knew that or had that opinion of things, a lot of things would be a lot easier. Specifically, like if you go out into the job market and you realize, oh, I need this education to get the job I really want. I mean, because it's going to take a couple of jobs until you're like, oh, this one, I can do this one. Or hopefully, sometimes you just get stuck in a situation where you're just that loyal to the company and it's not that bad enough to where you just stay. Like, I don't know. It's hard. It's a toss up because sometimes you luck out with like a really cushy job, for your first job or something. Like I know it's one person that they worked as a lifeguard, and that just sounds like the cushiest of jobs. Like you just have to basically boss people around, and you are the one in power, and then and without you, like people can't enjoy their pool and stuff, and they look to you for safety and everything, and it's a lot of pressure, and so with that kind of gets a little bit of the ego, but um, then if they have to work another job. Actually, sorry, that's kind of getting. Let's try to stay away from talking about all of that because again, that's not really fair. That's a specific person, but something that I noticed that there's a lot of pride that goes along with that, and then it's kind of harder to work other jobs. So now, me, I started working at a job that I needed to do a good job because my sister worked there. And if I, I didn't want to embarrass her and make her look bad. So it's like, I got to do a good job. And so I worked hard and I think I kind of took it a little too far. And I think I upset her because, like, we talked about it once and it was like, well, actually, I don't know. It's not, again, personal stuff. But, oh. No, no, no. Just don't go up there and drown. Well, let's take that. Come here. And you know what? Oh, wait, we have. Sorry, I just want to make sure I didn't leave one. Alright. Trying to get into a rhythm like where I can run, make sure I hit it far enough ahead so it drops to where I can pick it up. And then, because I can't even look back, it's going to be so dark that if there's something floating down there, yeah. Oh, wait. Dang it. Sorry, what I was thinking about there is like, yeah, we'll leave the light for now. We do have enough to do like another tunnel, but we need to get to a point where we're comfortable where we just have a ton of coal. So that's going to take some effort. Oh, also, realize I did not set an alarm. I am so sorry. 7:05. What? Okay, cool. Oh, so actually that's going to be, we're going to have a little bit longer, 34 minutes or so. That's fine. And then I got to go do some other stuff. So I mopped the floors the first time I go, but now I'm going to dilute the water and then do like, or maybe just do like a rinse mop. So it's using a lot of water, but then again, I don't do this but once every like several months. So actually, it's been once a year now. So, or no, I take that back. I got down and I like scrubbed both bathrooms and the kitchen. I do that about every 2 to 3 months. So that's. But this one, I just wanted to see like what the difference was. I mean, already I'm not like scrubbing, but I don't think there's a whole lot of a difference. Like, because then I'm starting to think, like, what's the bigger waste of resources? Like, what would be more environmentally sound? Or is there one? stuff like that. But also, we're gonna need pretty soon here. Let's keep one stack of stone. Whoops, we need those sticks and wood. Okay. Oh, and then torches. There, even that. I don't like leaving tunnels underneath the underground. Also, we need tons of these. And maybe one more of these. Um, yeah, we'll go ahead and this will be our supplies thing. So, and maybe even wood for the oven. And then this will be our like resources, like our anyways. And how far am I going? Actually, let's. Oh, I think we do have to kind of go down far because we've been running into water. So, at least now we have a stack of torches. Okay. There we go. We just start over with another one. And this will probably hit that same water if it's what I think it is, but let's go ahead and break this one first. We're getting some good stuff. Oops. Oh, I'm kind of disappointed that cave is so short. Like I thought it like went a little further, but it's just a brief dead end. So, still, it's a good place to fight mobs if I need to. At least until I get a mob grinder, or which that's what we could do. But I'm trying to think of a more efficient mob grinder, because if we were to build... Well, I guess that is kind of the most efficient. So the reason that I build the mob grinders the way I do is because with one water source, there's only so far that a mob will get carried. If you put two water sources side by side, I believe it's 8 blocks that's inclusive with the water block. So you've got 7 non-water blocks, like diluted water blocks, where the mob will travel. And not the Enderman, mind you. So this is only good for like zombies, skeletons, witches, spiders. So most of the angry mobs, just not most of the ones that are in the overworld too. So now if we go to the Nether, which I don't know, have we even? We have not. That's right. Or no, we have. And we almost died pretty bad. That's right. I started to build a Nether base, which that is going to be something, but I would like to get some diamond. Oof, that's the thing. I need to get some diamonds. Well, at least now I have some, and see, like right there, if you're digging straight up, just be ready to just, in case something falls on you. Or be ready to have a shovel to dig yourself out. But if it's lava, and you will have a little bit of time to react, so, I mean, that's why I like to have a block nearby. Because even if you panic and like if you cycle through your stuff and you have a block somewhere in your hotbar or your quick bar, you'll be okay. I mean, the lava moves really slowly. It's very bright, and all you need to do is die to lava once, and you'll probably never. I'm just kidding. You'll die to it a few times. But same with the Game Boy thing. Like now, I'm sure my son is going to save every single time, like or maybe not every single time, but he's definitely not going to hit the new game ever again. And then if he does, he'll get to do it all himself. Because like what's his name says in the Fast and the Furious, it's all about family. Sometimes you got to let them do the work and learn the lesson. But then I say that, but no, because we also just recently talked about hot stoves, and like I usually tell them if I'm cooking, like hey, the stove's hot, stay away from it or something. Like I just give them a heads up. Same within the kitchen. Like if there's some kind of situation, you kind of let the people around you know. I mean, or any workplace where there could be hazardous situations. I mean, Or like when I do crane operations, I put on the the bright orange helmet and section off the area, and we wouldn't let anybody walk even close to the crane operation. There was a strict regulation about what our safety expectancy was, and I took that very seriously. Like we wouldn't let anybody through, and they all understood too. Like I mean, it was just understood. Like it could be dangerous, and you need to focus, and if something failed, like and if the crane dropped whatever it was carrying, like you needed to be yeah. Not saying it would, and it never did while I was there, but like, all it would take is for one person to be off their game that day, and then, maybe something would be faulty or something. Like, accidents happen. Nobody's perfect 24/7, and if they're trying to do that, then they might be burning themselves out or making it a dangerous situation anyway. So, yeah, it's a lot to think about. But safety is important no matter what job you do. And whatever they train you with the safety, pay attention to it, take it seriously, and don't. That's why, like, there's certain things where you could joke and be like, oh, yeah, whatever. And it's like you're trying to get, like, I don't know, cool with your peers, or it's that whole leadership thing, or, but there's other ways to do it. And it's a hard thing to teach because ultimately the real leaders are the ones that are the most popular and have it the most easiest. Like the class clowns get it for a little while, but then they're going to have some hardship down the way, or they're going to have trust issues, or people are going to, because it's like if that's how serious they take life, how seriously are they going to take relationships, or, are they going to be there for you if you need them? I don't know. These are the things that you actually kind of process mentally, which is whew, a lot to think about. But, it's funny. Now we're talking about all this AI and stuff. Like, they're going to be I wonder. I wonder how close they are, actually. And then the they. Like, there's so many different theys now. Like, you got the Chinese government, the U.S. government, you got private companies. Like, and again, the governments, like, don't give them too much credit. They're not something special. It's like, yes, they do have all the resources and the research, but at the same time, like, now it's like private companies have, like, the brightest and the best. And even then, most of them, specifically with the computer science world, they're anxious to share it with everybody. Like that's why I'm excited. I saw those aluminum sulfur batteries like at least a year ago. Maybe it's 2 years ago because I think it was in August. Yeah, so it's coming up on 2 years that thing's been out, and and I've been seeing more charge stations. We've got the infrastructure work going on in America, so that's gonna be really cool. And you really need it too. Like all of us concerned about climate and everything, and if we're gonna switch to like mostly all electric cars, especially for like personal vehicles, because there's no need for you know I don't know. It's like, because I have friends that get the big old trucks, and like, yeah, that's great if you're going to be moving stuff every day, but if you're just going to be doing it like every now and then you just basically bought something that is way too overpowered for what your needs are. That's why I feel like we should do communal stuff. Like, because I remember I even had a friend, a good friend, that actually, the one that just passed away, well, passed away over a year ago. I found out about it recently, which, sucks, but, um, no, he had a truck, and I remember there was a couple times when people were trying to move. They're like, "Oh, hey, so and so, can we use your truck?" And he'd be like, "Oh, yeah," and just that gave him some usefulness within the community. Like he was the go-to guy because he had a truck, and then the rest of us would be like, hop along. Like whenever one of us moved, we had a nice group of people that would be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, let's band together and let's help get this done." And maybe you'd buy a pizza or something or whatever the parents would afford because almost none of us had our own money. Like, and because college is expensive and people, I don't know, it's gotten to the point where it's ridiculous. Like, you're almost like living like a refugee just trying to get through college, unless you have like complete and total funding from the parentals. Like, I mean, you have to forego a lot of sacrifices, both in your health, your sanity, like your friendships, your relationships, and all because it costs an arm and a leg to get an education. But everybody needs an education. You almost can't survive in this world anymore. Oops. Without a college education. Like, you just can't do it. I mean, you can. I'm just kidding. But like, unless you do some really quote unquote good business, you're not going to get very far, or you're not going to get very far very fast, I should say, because you could still, without a college education, get a pretty successful career with so many years of it. But a lot of it's going to be like building houses or construction of some kind or production of some kind that is going to destroy you physically, mentally, and like it's harder on your body over time. Whereas sitting in your desk, which is also pretty dangerous because if you're not active, you could start getting the big old belly, the heart problems, cholesterol. like all that stuff. Actually, you know what? I should go for a walk. Nah, I'm gonna go to the store. I'll pop by the gym. I do still spend some time in the gym, not as much as I used to, but in high school, like since I was doing community college classes at night, sacrificing my evenings, do work, get a head start on my education. Um, I had weights and games my entire senior year of high school. In fact, I kind of stopped going, like to be honest. Like I was doing it, but my football coach was my teacher, my teacher or my gym teacher. I guess they call them teachers. I don't know. That sounds a little weird. And I hated that about CSU. One of my favorite educators or instructors wasn't a professor because he doesn't have a doctorate. And I was like, man, he's the most down to earth, relatable of the. I mean, I liked all my professors. Get me wrong. I mean, I appreciated the work that they did, even if we didn't agree on things. Like, I still appreciated what I learned from every single one. So, like, yeah, I get it. I understand why it is so valuable. I mean, I don't understand the price tag. And then they did the thing with the stadium where it's like, I went to one football game and I was like, wow, we got this, or we pay our football coach $2 million. $2 million to coach football. And it's like, dang, who needs that kind of money? And in all honesty, if you compare, that's the one that actually makes most sense. I mean, look at athletes that get paid like $10 million to play or movie stars. Movie stars are really the biggest one because then it's like they could get paid like $50 million for one year's worth of work. That's almost like selling your soul to the devil. I'm just kidding because I don't really believe that there is a devil. However, it could be a fatally poor mistake to get all that money at once and not be able to handle it. That could be actually dangerous because then it sets your expectations for reality unrealistically high, and then anything else is going to seem like King Midas, or everything he touched turned to gold. But after a while, he couldn't eat, he couldn't touch his loved ones, he accidentally like killed his family, like Or there's Constantine, who one of the people dies from, what was it? He couldn't quench his thirst. It was like literally a hell on earth situation. And he's like breaking all these bottles and trying to drink them, and nothing, like it feels like sand. And again, perception is reality. So that's the scary thing. Like if we ever ended up living in a simulation, or if this was a simulation, we would have to be careful because the system admin or whoever's administering, or the server admin, whoever's paying attention, might be like, oh, well, you're going to be like that? We're going to do this or something. I don't know. I mean, anyone who played Sim City, sorry, way back in the day, the old school gamers, like, yeah. And again, that's only people that could afford video games or just had and that's why, see, I say that, but I knew a kid, I tried to be friendly with him in high school. His parents passed away and it was really hard, and he was being raised by his grandparents, and we were trying to be friends, but I don't know, like that many troubles that early on, it sucks. Like, I don't know. And I got to worry about my own kids first before anyone, but I got so many friends that passed away that left kids, and it's like, ugh, I want to be able to do something, but I don't know. So I'm going to. So basically, I'm working with a few people, organizing together an idea of just a gaming center. And granted, we could add this to like a library if they gave the go ahead or something, or got like approved for an addition. It just had like a legit gaming room, but you'd have to hire somebody to monitor it, like because you don't want kids rage quitting and like smashing the equipment, or you'd have to have it somehow tied to them, like. And then you'd also have to have them like somehow financially responsible or contributing to it or something. Like you'd have to almost have like a plus membership or something to the library where, and then, you know, or granted, I don't know. See, or maybe you could have people take turns being the monitor or something, and that would earn their membership or something. Because that's how, like, you convinced a lot of people to work up at the ski resort is like, oh, you give them a free ski pass, and you work out a deal with the mountain to be like, okay, well, we get discounted ski passes for our employees, so, and then we can hire them with that as a perk. And that's how I worked up there for 2 seasons doing Photography, I hated it. It was so horrible. Like, imagine standing around, like, it was bad enough in the rental shop my first season up there at Monarch, but like, and you get to see everybody getting all excited, going to have fun, and they're on vacation. They got like, it doesn't even matter. They could have like the worst gear and be like the poorest people or whatever, and you would still like just be like, wow, must be nice. Like, you know, go have fun shredding the gnar. I'm gonna sit here and stack these boots. And that was the other thing too. It bugged me about one of my buddies back then. Is like we were both supposed to be boot fitters, and he managed to promote up. Like he waited, he kind of weaseled his way up, and he got out of it. But I never let him live it down. Like I'd constantly be like, you know what, whatever, man. Like you didn't go through the whole boot fitting, like the initiation. Of course, I didn't either. I didn't last in the rental shop. I actually moved over to the photo shop, like because there wasn't any room. Like I didn't want to be a boot fitter for a second year in a row. I was like, that's garbage. Like no, thank you. I don't even care about the ski pass at that point. Like, because boot fitting is hard. Like, especially with Americans, because a lot of us do have kind of weight problems. Like, or a lot of us sit at desks for a living, so we don't really have time to exercise. So that translates into the improper term for it is cankles, but really just so much fat around your ankles that your ankle is really big and it doesn't fit in conventional boots. Therefore, and see, this is the thing, I'd have to bring out the calf extenders and, mind you, not tell the people that. I mean, you did have to tell them, be like, sorry, your legs are just a little too big. We're gonna just put these on. Or you had to like think of ways to not offend them, because you didn't want to like ruin their day. But we just didn't have anything in stock that fit their leg, and that happened a lot. So I guess that's kind of an important thing that I just learned about myself. Like part of why I'm so patient with like IT issues is because imagine trying to help someone put on a boot, a ski boot, and and then you also hear about things, and then you're liable too. Like if you don't give them proper instructions, proper training, like their first instinct is to blame you if they get hurt or they pass the blame or whatever. And we did have some issues with that where like people were so frustrated or so injured, like, and you can only do so much. And the other thing is like with the ski equipment, we were only really liable for, well, the ski equipment, like the training, the lessons, that was a different department. If you wanted ski lessons, that's what we told a lot of people too, is like if you don't think that you can, if you feel like and we even rented out our equipment that way too, because there's ways to set up, like say a snowboard, for instance, or no, sorry, skis. Let's start with skis. Like you can, if they are a beginner skier, you would make the bindings loose so they would pop off because, and this is kind of the hard part, until they learn how to safely ski down the hill, it's more dangerous if their ski doesn't pop off. Like you have to loosen the tension of how hard it is the ski pops up with. And actually, I did some testing for what was it, liability purposes, where I'd take out the fake boot and I'd twist it, like try to snap it out of the ski thing. And if it popped out okay, then that means, and I didn't even have to twist it that hard. Like you weren't even supposed to. Like it doesn't take that much force to pop out a ski bump. Now, if you're a skier, if you're a level three, and that's how we did it, level one, level two, level three, and we had like a brief description of, okay, this is what your ability is ski within your ability. And if you don't ski within your ability, you might get injured or hurt, seriously, and you could die on a mountain. Like, what was that? Oh, hold on. So like I remember people used to make fun of me very briefly because I always wear a helmet, and I was like, man, if you're not wearing a helmet, then you're just skiing around on the bunny slopes, aren't you? Or something like that. Or I just have like a quip like that, be like, but I seriously wanted a helmet, and I hit a tree or two, and Sonny and Cher, I think it was the husband. Yeah, it's Sonny. Yeah, Cher's husband died in a skiing accident with a tree. Like one of the most famous people, riches, wealth, all a god status, died from a tree skiing. So that's why we said, you know, be careful out there. Wear protective equipment. Like, we weren't joking about it. We're like, people can die up here. And I had some friends on the ski patrol that would tell me just, not like tell me all the stories, but like, sometimes you get to gossiping a little bit, but like, or you just see it too. I mean, you'd see somebody laying there with like, oh, that's definitely a broken arm or something. Or you could hear a crunch even. Like, if you ski long enough, you start to see these things. And when you're working at a ski resort, well, guess what? You get to ski quite a bit, which is awesome. It was a great perk. Um, that is, if we weren't dead tired from working so hard that we didn't even feel like going and skiing. Like, and it didn't matter if you felt like skiing or not. You still had to make it up to the mountain every day, and that's what really, oh, I had to carpool because I wanted my own car, like to go up there. They did have a ski bus, but that meant that you had to be there at the exact time. Otherwise, you either got left or say you got done early and you still had to sit around and wait for the ski bus to leave. Like it was inconvenient both ways. Like, I mean, but they couldn't really do anything else because it was just the one bus. I mean, they could only afford doing one bus up and one bus down because the mountain wasn't really a big mountain. Like, so, anyways, problem solving and the ways that we problem solve. And the more you understand these things, the more they make sense and the more patience you give other people. Because then it's like, oh, I see why. But when you don't understand, when you're that little kid and your parents won't buy you the toy and you just lose your mind because it's like, why? Because you think they have unlimited money. That's why oh, look at that. Good thing I was crouching. Woo! And you know what? We're in peaceful, so, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Well, either way, let's go and start getting some of this stuff. I was just getting excited because we're gonna explore a cave with our 34 torches, 35 torches. Sorry, now it's 30. Oh, uh, yep, diamonds right there. All right, so we're gonna get that. We're gonna get some lapis. All right. Oh, okay. First things first. I do not. I hate getting lost. Like, this is good. It's cobblestone, so it looks out of the ordinary. There. So we can get. Wait, I thought I saw. Yeah, I was like, I thought I saw iron. Let's go ahead and get that. Oh no, it's straight up and down. Actually, I'm surprised that didn't watch this. We're gonna lose anything. Actually, wait. Well, let's go ahead and get the lapis so we don't forget about that. I don't know. Yeah, it all comes down to problem solving. How do you problem solve? What shortcuts are you willing to take? Are you willing to take any? And see, that is learned behavior shaped by your environment, your education, your background, your parents' education, their background. Like it's all connected. That's why like family, the whole Fast and the Furious guy, what is like I forget his name. I always see the memes, it's like it's all about family or family this or something and but it's true because because you should be mostly concerned about your family. You should radiate your circles of responsibility and trust inward to outward. So you need to take care of yourself. Mind you, don't take an hour putting on your own oxygen mask and let everybody else on the plane die. Like, you need to have, ooh, look at that. You need to have realistic expectations. Oh, this is sweet. We can totally make a grinder with this. We're going to do it. All right, so we got zombies on demand. Oh, and so much string. Whew. What is all this? Music discs? Oh, well, thank you very much. We're going to take, all right, all right, all right. And look, these are, oh, there's only two of them. But, yeah, oh, sure, yeah. I need to get better in enchantments. Let's also leave that. And let's see. Beetroot seeds. Nice. All right, sorry, this got way sidetracked. Oh, and this. Yep. And a name tag. All right, we are. Oh, whew, and bones? Yeah. Sorry, this was just such a good score. And now, I don't even know where we are. I'm trying to think. So to get back here, we're in one of the mine shafts because we also got to go back. So we're going to denote this. This is going to be our area. We're going to, oh, diamonds, 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 diamonds. Water elevators. Yeah, give me that loot. Give me that loot. One? Ridiculous. That's okay. That's one more than I had. And yep, I'm sorry. It's just let's keep the grab. No, andesite. We don't need any andesite. Okay. If we see any more diamonds, I'm thinking like, ooh, just heard a lot of thunder. Yeah, I got. Sorry, I keep thinking of all these projects I need to do. So the Microsoft password, that's just like one of them. I need to also get like all these other things, like basically system admin, and I doing like network monitoring, management, honeypots, like security projects, like all these things, and oh, but I'm okay. I'm actually like I'm still good with this. We're gonna keep doing it. It's gonna be a long season, so I hope everybody's in for that. I'll keep them at the half hour length so they're not unbearable. But like, yeah. I don't know. I keep saying that. I need to stop saying that because the one thing I keep thinking about is even with like my educational ones, like I've got, I want to say like up to like 6 or 8 videos now, with the Let's Learn Python playlist. And it's like, I got to remember what I did to learn Python. Actually, didn't learn Python in school. I learned, ooh, actually, let's not do that anymore. I don't want to die. It's not worth this little exploration. I would feel more comfortable if I was exploring with a lot more torches. Um, I mean, I got a diamond. I'd rather be a little more reserved because then if I were to fall in lava, I would lose the diamond I have, all these tools, my diamond pickaxe. Ooh, actually, I should just leave my diamond pickaxe at home. So let's do that if we remember. Let's see where. Let's take that. I mean, even though gold is definitely not like that big of a deal because we're gonna be doing the zombie piglin gold farm. Because I think gold is the best one to use for a beacon. So we're gonna do that like because I can't imagine using diamonds. It's a flex for sure. For sure, it's a flex. In fact, Wadzi has a diamond beacon, a freaking netherite beacon. Like, yeah, go watch some Wadzi if you want to see like the most outrageous. Of course, it also takes him, like several hours, days. Like, I mean, which again, you got to remember, everyone is capable of anything except for people that are disabled. That's why, like, one of the most noblest of efforts in tech is ability tech or whatever it's called. Even I don't even know. Like, it's like accessibility on Microsoft systems. I don't know. Oh, there's some iron up there too. Uh, but yeah, it's like, and we've come so far. We've got screen readers. We've got when you're doing web development, it's important that you learn how to do the alt tag for pictures. So like, when you're developing things, you have to develop it to where screen readers actually know what it is, so they can say like it's a picture of this, or and you have to make it relevant too. Like, yeah, okay, it's fun to troll people every now and then, but I would never consider trolling somebody on a screen reader. Like that's bad karma. I mean, and I don't care if you believe in God or an afterlife or anything. Like that's just like anything I do, I imagine like what would my parents say? Like that's why I said the Stephen King, like definitely check out the Dark Tower series if you can. I checked every single book out from the library. So I love Stephen King. I've bought in some of his books, but at the same time I'm a poor person, so I love his work and I will read it and I follow his tweets. I do kind of align with him politically most of the time. I think he gets a little angry, which again, that's some of that throughput too. Like they only get to see so much, and anyone these days with the news, like, it is such a grab for ratings that they will show you the most outrageous things, or inflate certain stories, or deflate certain other stories, just for the sole purpose of, will this? It's job security. I mean, and again, this is not that these people are trying to be out there all evil. It's like, well, that's what it is. It's like you got to read the small print because if they didn't have small print, they wouldn't be in business. Like, no. And that's profound about capitalism too, and that's why it's so cutthroat. Because like businesses literally can't survive all the time comfortably, all the time. Like unless without a lot of work, and even then, some businesses just don't need to exist. Like I don't know, that seems harsh, but one of the subways I worked at, it closed down, and I get it because it was so painfully slow, and then that made the manager make so many bad or not bad decisions, but hard decisions. Like, if productivity fell below a certain number, they had to send people home, and then they had to work harder. They basically do the same amount of work but with less people, and then but they got paid the most. So the manager like sunk or swam with the business, and that destroyed some people I knew. And I was going to be me, because they offered me the management job, and I was like, thanks, but no thanks. I'm going to go get my degree. I was an assistant manager for a good 3, almost 4 years, so I did my service to the subways. But and I appreciate it too. Like they gave me a job when I needed one, and and I did a good job for them. So I feel like it was good both ways. And I put in my 2 weeks, which is more than what I can say for some people. So Sorry. I post that. That is one thing I'll say about the personal note. This guy that I'm trying to help never put in his 2 weeks. Like the 3 or 4 jobs that I saw, and it's not okay. Like, and I told him that. So, and I will tell him that again. It's like, because then, because I was thinking about trying to like help him out with the job, and that's what I do. It's like I try to help people. Anyway, sorry. But I'm not going to help you if you're not willing to put in certain effort. So you can't. I mean, there's a lot of other people out there that will put in the effort, and they're going to be the ones that, the squeaky wheel gets the grease until it gets replaced. But you do got to get a little squeaky. So, all right, that's good for this one. I need to run to the store. I'm going to go take a. I think I'm just going to go to the gym. There was a lot of people out last time. All right. Until next time, friends. Talk to you later. Ta ta.